Hello friends, Tanya here with another fun video. This time I am featuring the Simon Says Stamp January 2021 card kit. There are a lot of goodies in this kit, including this filigree snowflake embossing folder, this custom set of designer papers by Whimsy Stamps, the ELIZA snowflake, this chrome silver metallic paper, and this beautiful snowflake season stamp set. I am a sucker for snowflake stamp sets, actually snowflake anything, which is appropriate since I live in Minnesota. And I decided I wanted to try distressing this paper, this pattern paper. This is a 3D embossing folder. This does a gorgeous job of embossing, and I ran it through the die cut machine and got this deep, beautiful embossing, and I sanded it off so that the white would show from the center of the card. I'm also taking some shimmery white cardstock, pearlescent cardstock, and I ran that through the same embossing folder. Then I'm going to take this silver chrome metallic cardstock, and I am die cutting one of those pretty little ELIZA snowflakes. I'm taking the same metallic cardstock, and I'm using the Slimline Stitched Strips die set from Trinity Stamps. I love that stamp set. I use it a ton. And I make these little stitched ribbon sections with that cardstock. I am adding it to the top and bottom of that panel. I needed this to be a little bigger because, of course, I'm making 5x7 cards. I'm going to make a couple of A2 size cards, not on the video, off screen, but doing the same layout relatively. Using some different pattern papers. Just going to trim off the excess. I did make this card twice, and the second time I made it, I did not put all kinds of dimension on, and I took the little skinny strips of silver and butted them up against the edge instead of over the top of the top panel. I am going to take one sentiment from this stamp set, and I am going to stamp it with embossing ink. I happen to have some Simon Says Stamp clear embossing ink. I'm sure it came in another kit. You may have noticed I'm a bit of a kit-aholic. I'm going to stamp this 2 or 3 times on some white cardstock to get a good solid image here. And I am going to emboss this with some silver embossing powder. This does take a couple good inkings because it's the first time I've used the stamp, and I always err on the side of caution when it comes to embossing powder. Now, embossing powder is something you can have in your stash for a long time. I bet that embossing powder is close to 20 years old. I know I got it secondhand. It does create this beautiful, thick, gorgeous silver. And that just goes to show that your supplies can last for a long time. I'm going to use these nested banner dies from Simon Says Stamps. These are one of the staples in my collection. And this is the middle sized of the dovetailed end banners in this set. And that fits around the sentiment perfectly. We're going to layer all of this together. Now, I did use coaster blanks to add dimension to all of those, but again, I think I would skip that on the second card. We're going to use some fine tip glue here. This happens to be the Barely Art Precision Glue, which I use almost exclusively. And I'm going to add little dabs all over the back of that snowflake. And we'll adhere that down to the card front. I'm going to pull out some coaster blanks here in a second. Oh, I already did. And adhere it to the back of the banner and adhere that to the front of the card. And then I needed to do something to the inside. So I pulled out one of my ombre ink pads from Hero Arts. This happens to be the silver metallic one. I can't remember the name of it. It'll be linked in the description box below. I am going to condition these stamps a little bit by rubbing them with my microfiber cloth before I use them, since this is the first time I use them. I have to say, I was so excited and so inspired by this kit that as soon as it came in the mailbox, I had to create this card. It had been in my home for less than an hour when I broke it out and got to work. I'm doing several of these snowflakes along the inside corner of the card, and I did intentionally leave the inside with no sentiment so that I could send this for a Christmas card or for just a winter card. That is that card. I did make 6 of these cards. This one, another blue one, that was another 5x7, and then I used a couple of the purple cardstock. Actually, I think it was only one. And I did the A2 size with purples and purple metallics. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please take a moment to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Give me a like. I would love to hear your comments about this video. And be sure to check out the description box below for any of the products that I used on this video. I am not an affiliate for Simon Says Stamp, but I did include those links below. I'm sure there are tons of snowflakes in your collection that you would enjoy. Until next time, bye-bye.